Hi, friend. I'm Heather Cianci. I'm a full-time high school English teacher. I'm the owner of the Teachers Pay Teacher store, It's Lit Teaching, and I'm the creator of the course TPT Profitability, a course designed to help you create your Teachers Pay Teacher store and get it rocking and rolling in about a month or so. So today I want to talk about one of the things that I think is stopping a lot of people from getting their Teachers Pay Teacher store off the ground, and that's perfectionism. Perfectionism. There are a lot of perfectionist teachers out there. I don't know why so many of us are type A, but it's definitely a thing, right? So here's my hot take on perfectionism, guys. Perfectionism is just procrastination in disguise. That's right, perfectionists, you are not any better than procrastinators. Here's why. So if you are wanting to start your Teachers Pay Teacher store, but you keep running against this perfectionist tendency, right? Well, if I'm going to start a store, I want my resources to be beautiful, and I'm not quite sure how to do that. And then I'm going to have a blog because, of course, you have to have a blog, right? If you're a Teachers Pay Teacher seller. So then I have to learn some web design. And then I have to learn some graphic design. And then because I've got the store and I want to do really well and make money, but then I also have this blog to promote, I have to make sure that I'm marketing. So I better make sure that I get my Instagram good and my feed needs to be flawless. And if I'm going to post pictures of me, then I guess I should probably also lose those last 10 pounds and make sure that my lighting is good and probably hire an audio visual team so that everything is beautiful and my sound is great and my images are perfect. And then I have to really figure out this Pinterest game. So maybe I should take a $1,000 course on how to do Pinterest pins because that's what all the experts do. And if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. And then I have to figure out Facebook. So I should probably get like a Facebook group going to advertise in there, and maybe I should do some private, Facebook group stuff. And it snowballs, right? I'd like to start a Teachers Pay Teacher store because I want to build a Teachers Pay Teachers empire like no one has seen before. Nobody will Teachers Pay Teachers like I Teachers Pay Teachers. We get so focused, guys, on this big picture. And I think a lot of it is because teachers just hold themselves to really high standards. I don't think I'm a perfectionist. Okay, if you're watching this video, you can probably tell I'm not a perfectionist. My audio is not perfect. My background is not great. I definitely did not hire that audio visual team yet to get these videos off the ground. But I understand the tendency. A lot of us are teachers because we did really well in school, right? We're really good at school. We're really good at academia. We know how to get the A's. We know how to do what is expected of us. We know how to please authority. We know how to follow rules. We know how to shine bright, right, and meet expectations and make other people around us happy and, follow expectations and behavior norms and blah, 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 blah. We're really good at being high achievers and we get rewarded for being high achievers, right? We love seeing those A pluses on our report cards. There's no A plus in business, guys. There's not. There's no such thing as perfectionism in Teachers Pay Teachers. There's no such thing as perfectionism in business. Nope. You're just constantly chasing. So if you want perfection, you can just toss that out the window. It doesn't exist. But why perfectionism is procrastination? We want to do so well. We want things to look really good, right? Because we're high achievers, because we want people to be proud of us. We want people to look up to us. And I don't know if there's like a piece there or like we just also don't want to embarrass ourselves. I know that was kind of one of my big like hesitations with Teachers Pay Teachers is there are so many sellers who have phenomenal work out there and are somehow seamlessly juggling this product creation with marketing, with blogging and Instagramming, and like they seem to have everything down to a T, that suddenly we feel like unless we can also do it like that, unless we can also achieve that level, there's no point, right? So then it becomes all or nothing. Well, I want the beautiful Instagram feed and the flawless blogs and website and the gorgeous, stunning teaching resources. And if I can't figure out how to do all that, I won't do anything, right? Or we get this, idea of kind of this beautiful business that we want to build for ourselves. But then that big picture gets overwhelming because we probably don't know how to design beautiful products and do graphic design and build a website and take gorgeous photos of ourselves for Instagram, right? So it becomes overwhelming. So if you're finding yourself coming up against this, perfectionism is leading to procrastination, it's because you're thinking about the end product too much. All right. So it's totally fine to have a goal, a vision. I mean, one day I hope that my Instagram is flawless and my blog is awesome and these videos look a little bit better. Thanks for hanging with me. Of course, it's great to want to do better, to have a vision, to have goals, but you gotta get started. You gotta start somewhere. Because those people that do have the beautiful blogs and Instagram feeds and amazing products, once upon a time, they had a little baby store with no followers and one freebie. Everybody starts the same way. All right. Once upon a time, they were posting dark, grainy images on Instagram too. Once upon a time, they put a blog post out there with no pictures and maybe some typos, and nobody saw it. Maybe it was on a free blogging platform. So you've got to start somewhere. So if we are going to think of our business, right, as a giant, beautiful piece of architecture, we need to build a foundation. And everything that you do, every action step that you take towards beginning your Teachers Pay Teachers business is just going to lay down one brick in that foundation. And that might seem pointless because you're like, what is one brick going to do when I'm trying to build the Taj Mahal, right? But if you lay a brick every single day, a year from now, you're going to have a really solid foundation. And a year after that, right, you're going to have a whole story you can walk around in. And the year after that, you're going to have a 2-story house there, palace, whatever it is you're building. The best way also to learn is to try. I don't know why we forget this as teachers, right? But you have to try it and fail a few times before you figure it out. The same goes for creating products. So I know that when I started creating Teachers Pay Teachers resources, it was really important to me that my products are beautiful, right? Because that's the kind of products that I like to buy. I like to buy the ones that look all professional and maybe have some pretty art, and it just makes me happy. So I wanted my products to feel that same way. And so I started writing, I put the content on there, and I still stand by the content. But those first ones were not ugly, were pretty ugly, guys. They were not pretty. But I didn't do a terrible job either. I figured out how to use clip art that didn't cost anything without violating any terms of use, right? I figured out where to find fonts that were free for commercial use. Every time I wanted to make my product a little bit better or I wanted to try something else, I learned a new skill. And now, my products are probably not perfect. I'm still learning, obviously, but I'm pretty darn proud of the way that some of my products work. There are some products where still when I print them out, I'm like, girl, you did pretty good with that worksheet. That looks good. So we all have to start somewhere, right? If you are so worried about the end goal that it's filling you with anxiety, or you're like, well, I'm never gonna have the time. I don't have the skills. I don't have the money to hire the people to do the blah, 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 blah. You're over analyzing and it's leading you to do nothing. So I know it's hard for you, babe. I know, but I need you to stop thinking. Okay. If you want to start a Teachers Pay Teacher store, super easy. All you got to do, make a resource. That's literally it. And I have a feeling you probably have a file or 2 or 12 or 200 somewhere on your computer that are practically ready to go, right? Turn it into a PDF, baby. Throw it up there. All right, I know the perfectionists out there are cringing at that advice. But really, take something that you have created for your classroom that you're really proud of, content-wise at least, and then start figuring out, okay, what pretty fonts can I use without violating commercial use copyright? Narrow the scope of creating this empire down to one problem Where do I get some pretty fonts that I can use for commercial use? Make your fonts all pretty. That, if you want to incorporate some clip art, that's problem 2. That's the problem for tomorrow. That is a whole other brick for your foundation, right? I want you to take everything, all the big pieces, and break it down to the smallest component possible. I still do this. If I have a product that I'm working on, and so like I have some workbooks that are 40 pages, I literally on my to-do list write make page 1. And that is my goal for that day. Make 1 page. Or, find, you know, write questions for the next 5 pages. And the writing questions is separate from putting it all together and making it pretty, right? So even today, I'm still breaking my projects up into little baby bricks so I can build that foundation every single day. It's how I get things done in 20 minutes at a time, an hour here and there. It's how I build my business consistently and sustainably. It's how I keep going without getting bogged down in the endless to-do list and all the other things that still have to be done. So that big goal, it's okay that you have it, but it's not okay to not start. All right? You are amazing. You are capable of so much. You survive working with students every freaking day. You can do this, but you have to get started. All right? Pick one thing. I don't care if it's figuring out the name of your store. All right? That is a single brick. That is your homework for today. If you want to start a Teachers Pay Teachers, all I want you to do then today is figure out what you're going to sell under. You got 2 options, by the way. Sell under your name or sell under a store name. If you are going to give your store a cutesy name, make sure nobody else is using it. Don't just search on Teachers Pay Teachers, search around the internet. I talk about this in my course. Another great brick you could do is sign up for TPT Profitability. Totally self-promoting here. That's my course. It is designed for people who really want to start a Teachers Pay Teachers store, don't know where to start, feel totally overwhelmed by the process, but want to make sure that they do it right. So I'm a big advocate for progress over perfection. I'd rather you get started a little sloppy than be perfect and have a blank page and a blank store and nothing, right? You can do nothing perfectly, but that's not going to get you very far. So TPT Profitability kind of guides you gently into doing all of that. And I break everything down into bricks for you. So if you're somebody who gets super overwhelmed by perfectionism because you want that perfect image and you can't even like mentally break it down into little pieces, then you're probably perfect for a course because it gives you something, it gives you a linear path. And there's little achievements that you can hit along the way, right? In TPT Profitability, you have a lesson. For some lessons, you have homework. Some lessons have like additional bonus resources or materials that you can investigate to dig a little deeper or help you if you have more questions. There's a group if you want access to me, if you have like questions, or if you just want to share what you're doing, get some feedback. So if you're somebody who really struggles with perfectionism and breaking the big picture down, I actually really recommend a course. I think TPT Profitability is, perfect for you, but really any kind of course, maybe. But I'll put a link to TPT Profitability down there. I think I started on this tangent because we were talking about store names, right? So that is a little piece in step 1 of TPT Profitability, one of those videos. We walk through kind of making those key decisions about your store because I want you to have all the bricks in your foundation laid out ready to go. All right, guys. So remember, perfectionism is just procrastination in disguise. If you're worried about being perfect, that means you are thinking and not doing, and we have to do things to make things happen. All right, I'll talk to you guys next time. See ya.